Welcome to this tutorial on creating 3D digital scenes in Blender. In this tutorial, we'll be covering all the steps necessary to create a realistic and visually maybe stunning digital scenes from start to finish. First, let's start with the basics. To create a 3D digital scene in Blender, you will need to have a basic understanding of the software and its interface. This includes understanding how to navigate the 3D viewport, add and manipulate objects and use the various tools and features available in the software. Next, we'll move on to building the scene. This includes creating the basic layout of the scene, placing objects and props, and defining the overall look and feel of the scene. One of the most important things to keep in mind when building a scene is to use references, whether it's a photo of a real-world location or a concept art piece. References can provide inspiration and help you create a scene that looks believable. Once the basic layout of the scene is established, it's time to focus on lighting. Lighting is crucial to creating a realistic and visually stunning digital scene. In Blender, you have a variety of lighting options to choose from, including ambient, directional, and point lights. Experiment with different lighting setups to see what works best for your scene. After lighting, we'll move on to the texturing and materials. In Blender, you have a wide variety of material types, including glass, metal, and wood, that can be used to create a variety of different looks. It's important to make sure that the materials you use are appropriate for the objects in your scene and that they look believable. Once the texturing and materials are complete, it's time to focus on the camera and compositing. The camera and compositing tools in Blender can be used to create compelling shots and set the mood of your scene. Experiment with different camera angles and compositing techniques to create shots that are visually interesting and that tell a story. Finally, we'll render the scene and export it as a final image or animation. In Blender, you can adjust the render settings such as the resolution and the number of samples to get best quality for your final output. Once the render is complete, you can export the image or animation in a variety of different file formats such as PNG, JPEG, and TIFF. That's it for this tutorial on creating 3D digital scenes in Blender. I hope you found it helpful and that you are now ready to start creating your own digital scenes. Remember to take your time and experiment with different techniques and tools to find what works best for you. Happy blending!